Welcome to my synopsis and general overview of our experience with Final Fantasy 1. I wanted to do a short video at the end of each of the series, kind of talking about what we went through, what we thought about it, and covering some of the things in the game. Because we are playing through all of the mainline games and a large portion of the side games, I think it's going to add to the experience of the series. Kind of talking about it and going through it again. This will have some spoilers for, well, pretty much a total spoiler for Final Fantasy 1. And then I will be touching a little bit on Final Fantasy 10 and 7 as well. I just wanted to give that warning before someone watches it and they're like, how dare you ruin my entire experience with this game? So that is important. So we start our journey in the game as the four warriors of light. And as we move forward through the game, we learn more about the world around us, including the legend that we will be the ones to save the world as the four warriors of light. We face off against the fallen knight Garland and defeat him, and proceed to travel the world returning light to the crystals that were dimmed by the four fiends of chaos. After restoring the crystals, we travel through time to fight the enemy at the root of everything. When we go to the past, we face the fiends of chaos again, and discover that Garland is the one at the center of it all. Garland absorbs the fiend's power and becomes Chaos, the final boss of the game. His goal is to establish a time loop where he is the end and beginning of time, I believe. That's how I understood it. It's a little bit weird, but everyone has goals in life. I did really enjoy the story. I had a genuinely good time playing through everything. I think a good amount of Final Fantasy games rely on the structure that this game kind of provides. The only difference with this one is you discover Garland is at the center of everything at the end of the game. And in a lot of the Final Fantasies that I have played through previously, you kind of have this bad guy, and you know he's a bad guy, and you're just kind of trying to get to him. This one kind of flips it, which is interesting because it is the first one in the series. So you could argue this is the more traditional way to do it. But yeah, the game offers a good variety of characters to play for its time period. And because you can double, triple, or even quadruple up on specific roles for your characters, it allows you to have a very customized experience. I think if I was being to be harsh about the game, I didn't like the dialogue very much. Specifically the NPC dialogue. I think a lot of the times, whenever they didn't have anything to say, they would always say bless the crystals, which, sure, bless the crystals, but I would almost prefer NPCs not even be around if the only thing they're going to say is bless the crystals for the entirety of the game. A little bit harsh, maybe. Exploration of the world was fantastic, though. It gives you a lot of freedom in your exploration, and really it sets the tone for free exploration in the Final Fantasy series as a whole. The exploration of the open world and the dungeons you explore are both fantastic. I can't think of a moment when I explored and nothing happened because of it. The game's not always going to reward you for the exploring you do, and sometimes it actually punishes you. But the bigger thing to take away from this is it's fair and something happens when you explore. Whether it be a punishment or a reward, when you go down a corridor, something is going to happen. The treasure and rewards in the game probably could have been a little bit more varied, I think. It could have just been bad luck from the party I chose, but it felt like every single time I got a treasure chest, or at least 50% of the time, I found equipment I couldn't use. My party was 2 black mages, a white mage, and a monk, so that might have been why. I mean, that's kind of a very narrow party, but it was definitely one of those things where I felt like I chose bad because I couldn't use anything I found. I touched on it a little bit before, but the game sets the themes, structures, and even monsters of many of the Final Fantasies that follow it. You encounter series staples like Ochu, Sahagin, dragons, and a bunch more. The game introduces the series of themes of good versus evil, courage and perseverance, and establishes the structure on how those things are shown. Whether that be here with the light of the crystals, later on in the series through a giant whale that represents the world's wrongs, or before that even, when humans suck out the life stream of the planet. I think these kind of themes and structures become a little bit more blunt as the series progresses, but it all starts with Final Fantasy 1. Overall, this is an incredibly rewarding experience, and I look forward to the next game. I'm pretty sure my thoughts are going to change as we get introduced to more and more worlds within the Final Fantasy universe, but I will be expressing my thoughts on the game at the end of each series we complete until we kind of fully experience the Final Fantasy universe. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a really good time, like I said before, and can't wait till the next one. See you guys later.